I still remember the exact moment my heart began to quietly fall apart, even before I knew why. It was a normal evening. The kind of evening where nothing feels wrong, but something deep inside you refuses to stay calm. I was sitting by the window, watching the city lights flicker like tiny promises, holding my phone. Waiting for his message. The man I trusted more than anyone else. The one who once held my hands and said, "I could never hurt you." And I believed him, completely. We weren't just in a relationship, we were building a future. Late night calls, shared dreams, whispered plans about a home that didn't exist yet, but felt real in our hearts. He knew my fears, my insecurities, the parts of me I never showed the world, and somehow that made what happened later hurt even more. That night, his reply came late. Just one line. "Busy, talk tomorrow." Simple, cold, unfamiliar. I stared at the screen longer than I should have. Something about it felt distant, like he wasn't really there anymore, but I ignored it. Because love teaches you to ignore the small signs until they become too loud to escape. Days passed.
His calls
Became shorter. His laughter felt forced. The warmth in his voice slowly faded into something I couldn't recognize. And then came the moment I wish I could forget. But never will. I saw him, not alone. He was standing across the street, smiling. The same smile that once belonged to. That it wasn't meant for me anymore. It was for her. I didn't move. I couldn't. My world didn't shatter loudly. It broke in silence. But what I didn't know that day was that this wasn't the end of my story. It was just the beginning of something he never saw coming. That night, I didn't cry the way people expect heartbreak to look. There were no loud sobs. No dramatic breakdowns. Just silence. The kind that slowly fills every corner of your chest until breathing feels heavy. I kept replaying everything in my mind. Every promise. Every "I love you." Every moment that now felt like a carefully crafted illusion. Was it all fake? Or was I just not enough anymore? I wanted answers. I deserved them. So the next day, I met him. He looked the same. Calm. Composed. As if nothing had changed. "Hey, you look tired," he said, casually. I smiled faintly. "I saw you yesterday, for a moment." Just a second. His expression shifted, and that was enough. He knew. "It's not what you think," he said quickly. I almost laughed. Not because it was funny, but because it was predictable. "Then tell me what it is," I replied softly. But he didn't. Not really. Excuses, half-truths, empty explanations. And in that moment, I realized something painful. He wasn't sorry for hurting me. He was just sorry I found out. That realization didn't break me. It changed me. Because something inside me quietly closed that day. The girl who once waited for his messages, who believed in his words, she disappeared. In her place, someone stronger began to rise. I stopped asking questions. I stopped chasing answers. Instead, I started watching, observing, learning, because betrayal doesn't just reveal the truth about them. It reveals the truth about you. I saw how easily he lied, how effortlessly he played both sides. And the worst part, his friends knew. They laughed with him, supported him, covered for him. I wasn't just betrayed by one person. I was surrounded by people who thought my pain was something to ignore. That's when I made a decision. Not out of anger, not out of revenge, but out of clarity. If they all wanted to live in a lie, I would be the one to bring the truth into the light. A week later, he invited me to a small gathering. His friends would be there, the same people who smiled at me, while hiding the truth behind my back. And I said yes, not because I wanted closure, but because I was ready. That night, I walked in with a calm I didn't recognize in myself. He looked relieved to see me, like everything was back to normal, like I had forgiven him, without him even asking. But what he didn't know was that I had stopped expecting anything from him, and that gave me power. The room was filled with laughter, conversations, pretend happiness, until I stood up. "Can I say something?" I asked. Everyone turned toward me. He looked confused, slightly nervous. I smiled. "I just wanted to thank you all," I began. for showing me who truly cares and who doesn't. The room fell silent. I looked at him, then at them. I trusted. You, I said softly, not just him, all of you. No one spoke, because real betrayal, I continued, isn't just about the person who breaks your heart. It's about the people who stand there and pretend it's okay.
His expression changed. Panic. Real panic this time, and for the first time, he had no words. I didn't shout.
I didn't expose details. I didn't need to, because truth, when spoken calmly, hits deeper than anger ever could. I walked out before anyone could respond, not because I was weak. I didn't feel broken. I felt free, because revenge isn't always about hurting someone back. Sometimes, it's about removing yourself so completely that they're left. Never went back, never looked for answers again, because I finally understood something important. People who betray you don't deserve explanations. They deserve distance. And as I moved forward, leaving behind the pain, the lies, and the memories, I realized losing them wasn't my loss, it was theirs.